Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. There is definitely a feeling here as we're working our way through the Nazi castle and punching a lot of Nazis and then lowering our own health, which at this point you can't even see it until you're in the boxing minigame, but my life bar is very low. There was two colors, and I imagine the color on the right, which was I believe the yellow, would have refilled after each fight, but once the bar color on the left, which I remember as green, went down, that was probably permanent damage. So there definitely feels like there's this scenario where you could just get a game over and you really don't have a lot of options, particularly if you haven't saved. There was no auto checkpointing in such an old game. Um, we can try and bribe people, and almost certainly, if you bribe somebody, you're going to give them all the money that we've collected. We could potentially give the Grail Diary. We could give the old book that looks like the Grail Diary. Might be able to give the small key or the Stein or even the outfit, but after that, that's pretty much all you've got. And there's like only so much one can do to potentially get rid of items. Here we have a different room, and we're trying to get to the second floor of a three floor area. Here we have several paintings. You can see somebody here went really, really crazy with the art, where all the rest of the uh, building could have easily had all of this art randomly placed. It looks like a German country house for that picture. It says Dr. Freud and Nurse Edna on a wedding day just before leaving for America. Let's see if we can look at this painting. This is art. It's more like someone's drop cloth. See, just very basic comments here. It says Edmund Montes the font, Edmund Manet's the fifer. Some of these paintings are probably too famous to actually have been ever in the same place or stolen by the Nazis. A lot of art was stolen by the Nazis, certainly. Uh, but A Day in the Park, for instance, is pretty famous. Sunday in the Park by George Seurat. It's Castle Brumwald. So maybe this was supposed to be a hint. Looks like a couple of monsters from a cheap science fiction comic. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference to anybody I can recognize. I don't really see. Can't really zoom in enough to see what that would be. Here we have a statue. Maybe there's a plaque somewhere. And then look at the plaque. Si trouve envoy le Louvre. As which I don't know what that really would translate to, so for lover. And then it's painting here, and painting here, and this is paint by numbers. So it's a bit of a joke, but not going very deep into it. It says it's a mountain in the Swiss Alps. And so you could potentially, if you could just pick up all of these giant paintings, which they are. I know this one is Seashore by Mark Ferrari. Um, if you could pick up all of these and hand these, it looks like a paint by numbers Mona Lisa. I don't think Leonardo would appreciate this. It's not even a good one. So the thing here is, of course, behind the giant picture is a vault door. We're going to want to get into that vault door just for completionist sake. We probably are going to get the same response each time. And or similar responses, so you can't actually collect any of the paintings. Slightly different things. But unless there was supposed to be some other secret here, I think you could have easily had the vault door behind that and not had as big of a room. My hand's full of paint. So there is paint that maybe you could use this with the paint. But nope, that doesn't work. Or you could maybe use the Stein with the painting. Nope. Yeah, you can definitely feel that had half the rooms been empty and half the rooms have these paintings all throughout them, it would make sense. Then you would just be in a room that potentially has just like one giant painting in it and a Mona Lisa paint by number, and then that doesn't really make this room feel uh, feel as though it's that big of a difference. Let's see, we came in here and there's a shortcut up here that goes upstairs. But if we're going to bribe anybody, we probably need to bribe the people that are on the second floor, as when you get closer to the end of anything, there is when you get closer to the top, the guards get wiser. They stop seeing you. They stop overlooking you as a character. I think there's only one room like this, so yeah. So that was the shortcut, which then, what's in this room? Just a chest with some money and another way through. So the shortcut's actually not even that useful. So it doesn't even take you to a second floor. Interesting. And see, you can run here. There is a certain argument to be made about potentially pausing the game and cheating, or slowing down the pace of the game, which we can certainly do that too. There's a uniform in here, I'll take it. So use the uniform. It's too small. And then look at the uniform. There's an officer's uniform that's way too small for me. Wait, there's something in the pocket. It's a key. I'll toss the uniform and keep the key instead. So now we can use the brass key to go back. I don't know, like, which button would slow down the execution of the program as it's being emulated, but there definitely is something you can do with the Scum VM to slow that down. I'm gonna immediately get started. You shouldn't be wandering around here. Someone has broken into the castle. Say, that uniform doesn't fit. You're the intruder. So we should have saved. And it's a really bad boxing simulation once you start to see it this way. So that didn't work. And we didn't really save. So we'll start back where we were. Slight difference now is that we can we can potentially... Can we make it to this room? And then open the chest. And then look in here. And then run. No. And see, you get kind of a sucker punch on the first hit, but if you get backed up, you can't really do anything there. So, what is a way to get past all this? Use Stein with Indiana Jones, won't work. And so we may very well have to try to trick the guy into going this general direction. Kind of just waiting here. Going through this door. We can look to see if this window opens, but then you can see the vast majority of these don't open. And you do run into this bend. We've already looked to see if that window opened. So then it becomes a matter of, can you get caught? So yeah, it's just not reasonable at this point, and you would just have to start the whole thing over again. All right. So we're back to the very beginning of the game. I'm here selling to inspect the tapestries. Tapestries? This is a castle. So I think in this case you just sucker punch him always, and you don't have to do anything with that. We can look. Nope, we can't even look at him. All right. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the castle, same for me, sir. I think we can go ahead and hit escape and skip that because we've already seen that. And then go ahead and open this door. Let's see, and if we were to throw a punch at this point, we get nothing. So we can tell this guy that we can talk our way through this one fairly easily. And he will not give you anything anyways. You can come over here and you can pick up but not use the servant uniform. I don't believe there's anything in here of importance or anything in there of importance? Yeah, nothing in there of importance. So then you get stopped again. So we can try this again. I don't think this guy has any money on him either. But if he does, we're going to have to be... See, that doesn't work so much on this idea. So each individual character might have a conversation where you can outsmart them, but it would be such a brute force. I can't get any further. There you go. And so that didn't lower my green bar any. And that got me money, so that's not a bad point to start to save. And we'll just save over 8 because we're going to have to be really much more careful. And that gets you up to the first area. And what do we want to do now? Probably could use the servant uniform at this point and save ourselves some frustration that way. We can open this chest. We really hadn't made that much progress. We really only have to get past a couple of people. And then servant. Wait a moment, you're no servant. See, that guy just immediately spotted me. I'm about to lose some of my health if I'm not careful. And you really don't have enough health on there to lose. See, that very well may have opened up the door where we failed again. And a lot of these solutions really do feel like they are not really working anywhere close. Let's see. So now we can just offer the painting. Take this painting. What are you doing with that? The help isn't supposed to touch anything valuable. And then halt. And see, do we want to potentially get caught by this guy? Nope. See, this guy just sees us again. We are in a better position, but not particularly the greatest of positions. And see, that just lowers your life so much that you actually lose your own life as if you just flail around trying to box people. So use servant uniform. And then see if we can work our way through here. So we only get stopped by one person. Then we can go back and get the other uniform. But even that is going to be tricky because we're going to have to go back to the like we can try and avoid this guy and just make it a dodge, certainly, but it may not really work. So then use a regular Indy wear. Little Indiana Jones sound effect. What was that? That's just a reference. So in theory, this guy's should not stop me. So I can just walk right past him. And then we can look at the other uniform. Wait, there's something in the pocket. It's a key. I'll toss the uniform and keep the key instead. Then we pretty much just use the brass key in the lock. And then we can pick up the upgraded uniform. And see, we can't grab this other uniform at all. It's just not clickable. And then we can use the gray uniform, but let's not do it right now. Instead, let's save. And we are a little short on money. Versus you could have more money, but I don't think unless you get all of the money possible, I don't think there's a single way that you can bribe your way versus against the final guard, which makes the whole thing a very difficult fight. This whole puzzle is crazy. It certainly is something just designed around the idea. This is the thing I missed before. It really is just designed around the idea of there being a major lucky streak or just a lot of grinding to lengthen a game. Hello, nice to see a new face around here, but you shouldn't stray from your signed post. Let's see. If I throw a punch, my health apparently at some point had been fairly high. I haven't done the kitchen section either, and I need to go back and do that. See, that just does not work at all. They do create a scenario later on where in later Indiana Jones Fate of Atlantis where you can just straight up sucker punch people. And that definitely changes the dynamic quite a bit because then you don't have that level of frustration of having to fight if you don't want to fight. Where is the kitchen? It's in this hall. No, it's not in the hall. Must be in this way. Let's see. Just the tapestry. Then empty room. Then a Another empty room. And then over here is the cooking kitchen, which had you missed this part, you definitely would be in trouble later on. It'd be very, very easy to miss lots of parts here. It's a very disconnected section. It would make a lot more sense if this section was here. Ick, my good friend. Hello, how are you? This guy doesn't have anything on him. Terrible, I've run out of ale. May I get you another drink? Thank you. Take my beer stein. And see, that's all you really need to do with him. He's already pretty much dead drunk. And perhaps it would work a couple of times to use the stein and get some people drunk, but it doesn't seem like it's just that idea. You also have to have the right uniform to be able to give a drink to people, and certain soldiers definitely will not accept a drink and will call you out on giving drinks to every other people. Well, apparently it isn't a matter of walking out of the room, it is just a matter of waiting. And then you can't pick up the coals. We aren't actually that far away from the final part of this level, but the odds that an average player would have even gotten this far are extremely, extremely low. It's just not really reasonable. Right. So I think if we go here, then we save here. That gets us caught up. Then we walk through this doorway. This guy has money on him, so we want to knock him out. So offer an item, offer the stein. Take this stein. I don't drink on duty. Interesting, so he just takes that. So then we could say, take this. We could take the painting. Take this painting. Painting, that's not my job. See, and almost certainly the gray uniform outranks the green uniform. Let's see. Soldier, your pants are wrinkled. I'm on official business, may I pass? Either you want to box this guy and knock him out, or you just want to get past him. I think you throw a punch and you get ready. Hit and back, 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 hit and back. Very repetitive. There you go. And that, I don't think it actually lowered my health any, but even if it did, I should still be fairly fine. So let's go ahead and make a new save on number 9 now. And out we go. Let's go ahead and look out the window and see Elsa. Yeah, Elsa. The name we haven't seen used in a long time between the Disney Frozen movie and so only those with business concerning the art collection are allowed in this area. Okay. I'm on official business. May I pass? Here, take this old book. I don't want that. So you can't give the old book, but you can give the painting. Oh, you have one of those cup paintings. I'll put that in the vault with the others. So it even tells you. Let's see here. Greetings, sir. And this is the guy who we've had problems with before. So let's offer a Stein. Don't drink on duty. Greetings, sir. Let's see. Take this old book. Don't want that. Greetings, sir. Take the Grail Diary. Don't want that. So you could potentially try and bribe somebody here, or you can try try to get past. I'm on official business. May I pass? There's an intruder about. I'll have to search you. Let me give you a hand, which that is a hint that you are going to bite. Again, if I can get this boxing done, just gotta kind of take it. Just gotta let them wear themselves out. Nothing on him. So he's a character you definitely wouldn't want to have to fight normally. And let's in this room. Soon afterwards, this is them giving the painting to the person. But unless you could get all the way to the vault, then to get the painting to give it back to the more guards, it's actually fairly frivolous to do this part just to get back into the vault, I believe. It's actually the trophy on the top of the shelf that you're really wanting. Alright. Let's open this door. Alright, and that puts us in a different position. We have another one of these. Which is, this definitely feels like this is taking you up to a different level, but it seemingly isn't. You know, we finally at a window we can open. Finally. So, we're kind of in a rough spot. I don't recognize you. You must be the intruder. You can see this guy's reaction time might be a little bit lower. And you can see there's definitely a case there where you're just not going to be in the goodest of positions. Let's see. Open this door. walk through here. We can offer maybe this guy money to go away. Take this money. Money. I don't think you owe me any money. And see, you won't take money either. We can offer the painting again. Or we could potentially try and talk our way through that guy so that we can then deal with this guy. Because I don't think this guy's going to take a bribe. So, your pants are wrinkled. Sorry, Nate. There's no time to iron. Yeah, and if you go, what excuse if you call yourself an officer, half the time that'll be wrong. Silesian surprise sauce. Sus. You buffoon. You waste my time. Stand aside. You push me too far. And so then you've got another fight. So instead of even going through this fight, since that probably will lower our health, let's see if we can talk our way through the first character. Or just run. Let's see. I'm on official business. May I pass? Send Rydo about. I'll have to search you. Let me give you a hand. Now, is it inherently the case that the fatter guy is the better person to fight? I don't know. That might very well be the case. And like all you can really do is wait for your punch power to get low enough. Like that is just like the worst possible ending to that. And see, now we could potentially give the painting to this guy. Painting, that's not my job. Boring as you should know. I can't quite place your face. And here we can go, what, you don't remember me? It transferred here today, new orders. And each of these options, each of these options might work. But a lot of them just do feed back into getting punched. So yeah, you can see a lot of repetition here that you normally would not have in a point-and-click adventure. There'd just be a solution, and it would be a fairly easy solution. You kind of need to be caught by this guy. You kind of need to give the painting. Okay. And I don't believe you get any more outfits. Also take note that none of these guys are actually holding on to any they're not holding on to any like guns, which it certainly would have made more sense to to have the bad guys have guns. Alright. So I'm just gonna try and outrun this guy since he has nothing on him and there's really no reason to fight him. But it really is a case of the game just raises the difficulty level on you. And the timing here is complicated, and your punch power is odd in the sense that it doesn't really ever go up. Alright. So in the previous section we went from there to there, and that got us to the room. Let's see here. Ah, here's something we didn't expect to find. I had forgotten about this. We have a first aid kit. It's an official Red Cross first aid kit, which of course we can now use to refill our health. And that, while that is very video gamey, that is not typically what you would expect. Also, there's a little blue pixel here that looks like a glitch, or just something weird that they did. There's nothing in this room. These are the stairs to the next room. So I think over here is, well, that's that room. Yeah. We have this fight, which is that important. It shouldn't hit back. I should hit and then go back, or hit and not go back. Come on. See, that took all of my health after just using the first aid kit. So we're up to 105 marks. Does this window open? Yes, it does. And our uniform doesn't seem like it works for anything. Does this window open? Yes, it does. And I believe in the actual movie, this you go out on the windowsill, and that's where that's how you get around on the third floor. Let's see. This one opens to where? There. So those two doors just connect to each other. So then the real question is either this left room or this middle room. Visitor, life's been getting pretty boring. I've come to relieve you. There's an intruder downstairs. Hurry. Let's see if we can just bribe this guy. Take this money. I don't take bribes. Oops. So that went kind of badly. Also, I don't know what else we would have even had. We could maybe get that guy drunk, but I'm not even sure. And see, the problem with loading these sections is alright, so we're gonna just swing back, swing back, swing back, swing back, swing back, swing back. Wait for the punch to power up, and as soon as it does power up, hit him as hard and as fast as possible. The guy's basically stopped. And see, if there was any more strategy to it than that, it'd be nice, but it doesn't seem like there really is. So either you don't get caught by this guy, which seems impossible, or walking into it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is not really a pattern. Like, barely, just a tiny little sliver of health there. But I think that's as good as you're gonna get. And it's not my... just don't think it's worth it to go any further and try. So let's go ahead and save for a new save once again. We're very much having to scum save here, which, or save scum is what it was called, which I don't think that had anything to do with the script creation utility for Maniac Mansion. I think it's just a kind of silly iteration, alliteration. Life's been getting pretty boring. Offer an item. He won't take money. Maybe he'll take a stein. Take this stein. Are you kidding? Who are you anyway? Wait a minute. Now we can't go any further back, I don't think. No, we can't. There we go. 70 marks on him. So I think that probably is as best as that's going to turn out, since there was money on him. And let's look around this room. See, seems like all we have is a security system and a grating. So we can look at the security system. This is the castle security system. It's definitely armed. We can look at the grating. It's a lot of wires and glowing tubes, vacuum tubes inside. And we can use the stein of alcohol with the grating. Security system. I deactivated it. So that's a slight success on my part. And I do think at that point that leaves you fairly safe to walk around this floor. And we now only need to work our way through the 3rd floor and the giant hassle. And sure, in this one instance, we haven't been in every single room. We haven't gone in the art room. We haven't exposed the vault. We'll come back and get to that later. I wouldn't even be surprised if we found some marks in there. I think you're also fairly safe to walk down this direction. But you are going to have a fairly repeated experience if you go through this and try and get alcohol multiple times. And there is at least one more time in which we're going to need that. And had you not picked up the painting at the very beginning of the game, you would not have been able to hand the painting to that one guard, and then the game would have been a little bit more difficult. Had you not picked up the beer stein and filled it with alcohol a second time after you got the roast, you would have not been able to use it to disable the security system. And it kind of just constantly has that issue. And unlike more modern point and click adventures where it kind of always made sense to just pick up and collect everything, and you would have a bunch of weird items that didn't really make sense, but you knew eventually they were going to play some role. Here it would be fairly easy for people who have never played a point and click adventure before to... Oops. And that was not intended. There's definitely a way you can miss out on fighting this guy. Yep. Okay. So either we don't go back and get alcohol at this moment, which I think I'm fine with that. And we go through this door. This door is locked. Interesting. We hadn't realized that. Where does this take us? This takes us to a room. Is this a room where this window opens? Yes, it does. It's slippery out here. I better change into my action clothes. So, as I remember it, your father, who we haven't seen at all in the movie so far, only talked about, is up here on this point. We can come around to a room and 50-50 chance go into one room that has the guard in it and one room that doesn't have the guard in it, or we can try and climb up the trellis. And we will have to do all of that in the next recording. I guess we will go ahead and save over 10. There's nothing we've done extra other than just not refilling the beer stein. So, yeah. That was the whole hour of grinding. Compared to the movie, you definitely did not spend an hour in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade movie just wandering around the castle. And inherently there is that thought to have that, movies and stories often edit out the boring, repetitive parts, where video games have to be interactive, so they either throw back in the boring, grindy parts, repetitive parts, or they add more grindy, repetitive parts. Um, and you definitely could see how, if the movie really was as long as this is taken, and there were so many opportunities to fail, and Indiana Jones did potentially fail and then have to recover from those failures, it would be an exhausting experience. And the game doesn't do it much better. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.